guys, what's going on? It is Ash here coming at you today in Clash Royale. Today is going to be such a great video. I have my man Thunderstruck on. He was the first place winner, the champion of Redbull M.E.O over in Germany last week. Thunderstruck, how you doing, man?
Hey, it's great to be on your channel, Ash. I'm excited.
It's great to have you, man. You are from Scotland, right?
Yep, correct.
Awesome. We'll be hearing that accent. I'm sure it'll be pretty obvious pretty soon. But first off, man, let me ask you, I'm going to throw on a replay today. We're going to be talking about this deck, guys, which Thunderstruck says is, well, your words, not mine, the best deck in the game right now is what you told me in the DMs. So I'm excited to cover a Ram Rider deck, actually, and also has the Bandit in there and Lumberjack as well. So I really like the deck. I'm going to throw on a replay, though, because I have a few questions about yourself as a player and about, you know, how you got noticed in the pro scene and what led to you actually competing live, let alone winning in the Redbull M.E.O. So I don't know where to start, man, but, you know, tell us a little bit about yourself as a player and where you see yourself now as opposed to, you know, maybe where you were a year ago.
Sweet, perfect. So I've been playing this game for over 3 years now. I was one of the beta players, and I've always been in and out of the competitive scene. I originally joined Mortal Kombat to play an RPL with them in RPL Season 1. Yeah, I'm sure you maybe remember them. Nearly as OG as Elite Gaming.
They're right alongside with it. You guys had Colton and stuff.
Yeah,
right? Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
So I've always been interested in the competitive scene, but I wasn't very good as a player. Up until this past year, I've kind of improved. I joined Cream Esports last year exactly as an SLO player. And then it kind of just developed from there. And recently I've been playing in live events and it's worked out quite well.
Awesome, man. Well, you say you weren't a great player like back in the old days. So could you identify something in your play style that changed, that made you take that next step as a not only a competitive player, but now, you know, one of the top pros in the game?
Yeah, of course. So about last year, that's when I decided I want to be more than just a strong player. I could only play Hog 2.6, and I was decent at it, but playing one deck isn't good for playing competitive, obviously, especially when it's 2.6. You can get countered easy. So I forced myself to learn more decks, and it was hard, but eventually I got over that bump where I could now play anything.
Yeah, and when you say you force yourself to learn new decks, in your mind, what is the very best way to learn a deck fast? Or maybe you can't do it fast, but what's the most efficient way is a better way of asking.
Sure. I'd say either max ladder, but because that's not an option for a lot of people, grand challenges is another one, even though even that can be quite tough for some people. Being able to just grind out a deck at tournament level standards, or actually over ladder and grand challenges, playing against teammates, definitely. Teammates, anyone willing to practice, I forgot about that.
Yeah, so what do? Do you just like pick a matchup that you find difficult or that you lose to on ladder or in a grand challenge, and then you just keep playing that till you figure out how to beat it with a teammate, with a clanmate?
Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
While I was training for Red Bull, I had my deck selected like the past 2 weeks before the event.
Oh, wow,
and all the popular matchups for the meta decks and stuff that I can expect to face, I would ask my teammate or whoever it is if he could play that deck, and then we'd repeat that matchup again and again until I had learned it and I was confident in it.
What about like play style here? This is we're showing this match just on the replay, and it's like a 6-minute match, so I'm vamping for time here.
Okay.
No, I'm just joking. We just finished, but what about like play style differences in terms of, was there something that you can pick out now in your game style, like just no matter the deck, but something that you can pick out and say, yeah, I was just being too aggressive with this, or not aggressive enough, or not understanding this about the game, or was it just kind of a combination of a lot of things?
Yeah, definitely. Because I was a Hog player, I was used to basically bridge spamming and pressuring opposite lane and stuff. So it was very hard for me to get into the mindset to learn decks such as P.E.K.K.A, Golem, Giant, etc. that required a bit more patience and playing slow. So I think being able to identify that and learn from your mistakes is very important.
Yeah, for sure. So, okay, you know what I want to do is, I do want to play live this video, but I also, you have like this great grand challenge that you just finished with this deck, and I figured, you know the deck, you know the game so well. Let's just actually watch a couple replays to start out with, if that's cool with you, and you kind of break down exactly what you're doing and what your mindset is. So, do you want to start with, I see one against Trainer Dipits too, that's pretty awesome, playing 2.6.
Yeah.
Do you want another CRL Pro, really good player? Do you want to start with the Golem one maybe?
Sure, let's do that.
Golem's a little bit easier, I would say, right? Compared to the other two matchups?
Yeah, Golem's definitely one of the easier matchups because Inferno Dragon destroys it and you can pressure the opposite lane when they place a Golem really well.
Well, heck, easy or not, let's go ahead and give my viewers a little bit of a blueprint. So let's press play in 3, 2, 1, go. And yeah,
Sweet.
just talk about, like, why don't you start talking, like, kind of in general about early game with this deck, what are you doing, when's the right time to apply pressure, starting plays, and when's the wrong time?
This is one of the better first starting hands you can get because I have both 2 Elixir cards in the deck. I have Ice Golem and Barbarian Barrel. Right at the start, I will always wait, nearly for any deck. Like, even just waiting a few seconds and then placing a card, it's just way less risky.
Yeah.
Then I cycle my Lumberjack because I know it will kill the Barbarian. I don't want to take any damage. And also I place my Bandit because I expect to get a Bandit dash, and I force him to overcommit with a Mega Minion and Tornado just to defend that Bandit.
Perfect. And then here, it looks like you're being pretty aggressive early on. Now you know he's playing Golem, but talk a little bit about not just that play, but the Ram Rider in general. I mean, she's a new card, so talk as much as you want about Ram Rider here, and you get a ton of damage with her.
Yeah, the Ram Rider is super unique. I pressure her because I know that he's playing Golem, and I also know that he's not got his Lumberjack in hand to defend very well. I do the exact same thing here again with, I know he's not got enough Elixir, so I can take the tower pretty easily. Yeah. The Ram Rider is a really cool card. It's super unique, there's nothing like it, and this deck it's taken a while for people to work out what the Ram Rider works with, and I think this deck is definitely one of them.
Yeah, and I don't know, I don't even know where to start on Ram Rider. Obviously, you have Lumberjack, you have Bandit, you have Ram Rider as like your 3 kind of pressure offensive type cards. So maybe compare her a little bit in terms of Ram Rider versus how you might use the Battle Ram in this spot, or Ram Rider versus Bandit. Like, how are you playing it differently, and what scenarios might you use it differently?
Yeah, sure. So the Ram Rider, obviously it's stun, well not stun, whatever it's called, is way unique, like much more unique than the Battle Ram has.
Yeah.
And for this deck, the combination of Ram Rider and Snowball is super useful because when that Ram Rider is locked onto the tower, you can use Snowball to push away all the troops, and then the Ram Rider will just stun it, so the troop can't get any damage on the Ram Rider. It's awesome.
Wow, so that is like the OP combo in your mind at the heart of this deck, the Snowball and the Ram Rider. Interesting.
Yep, you don't see Snowball in much decks, but it definitely works in this one.
Yeah, okay, so you played the Ram Rider in the back there. Is that just very matchups dependent, or is that something that you do often?
I played it in the back there because I knew that there was a good chance he'd play Golem, but I didn't want to risk it enough to play it in the front. It was a weird play.
Okay,
and
so
I
it
also
wasn't
wanted to keep up the pressure.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty unusual. You wouldn't be doing that much.
Let me ask you this, because I feel like I have a million questions about the Ram Rider all of a sudden, right? So the Ram Rider is okay. Let's go to the next replay too while we're talking. Let's go to the one against against the Lava Hound Lumberjack deck.
Perfect.
All right, we'll press play in 3, 2, 1, go. And yeah, like Ram Rider, is there? Would you play her in a lane when you know your opponent has a counter just because she has the snare, or would you not get that crazy with it, not aggressive with it,
I sometimes will if I know they're low in Elixir, or if they have like only one counter and I'd be able to kill it with maybe a combination of Ram Rider and Bandit or something. But usually with bridge spam, you want to be identifying the counters they have in hand and then abusing that.
Okay. So in terms of the Ram Rider versus the Battle Ram, obviously it's one more elixir. I'm sure a lot of players, people who are watching right now, might be subbing in the Battle Ram in this deck. But if they're not, if they are using the Ram Rider, are you pretty much using her in the same at the same times in the match as you would a Battle Ram in the Bridge Spam deck?
Nearly.
No?
Very nearly.
Okay.
I would. Ram Rider has its own unique defensive value. You can stun troops and stuff, and Battle Ram also has a similar defensive value. Not as much, but it definitely can be played that way.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't always be playing Ram Rider instead of Battle Ram, but there's definitely similarities between the two cards that you can use interchangeably.
For sure. And in this matchup here, so like walk us a little bit through this matchup. Obviously, Lava Hound seems to be really viable again, especially decks with the Lumberjack or the Miner. So what are you trying to do here now that you know exactly what deck he's playing?
Yeah, now I know he's playing Lava Lumberjack. This deck, besides Ram Rider, only has one air attacking chip.
Yeah.
So it's not the easiest of matchups. But I also identify his deck has three ground trips. He has Tombstone, Lumberjack, and Barbarian Barrel. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be using my Bandit to get his ground trip counters out of hand.
Of cycle, gotcha.
So, yeah. Earlier I used Bandit to get his Tombstone because I knew he'd be forced to play it. And then I can get the Ram Rider onto the tower to kill it very easily.
Yeah, and it seems like on defense, you're not afraid to use poison at all, obviously using everything at your disposal here.
Yeah, definitely. Because I only have one air chip and it's Inferno Dragon, which isn't too great at killing lava pups anyway, poison's definitely needed for defense.
Yeah, and you saw an example right there, I think, of like a small little flare of defensive prowess out of the Battle Ram there, right? When you used her to kind of distract a little bit, or to slow down the snare, I guess, the flying machine and stuff. So how often, as we see 2 seconds left, there's no way your opponent can pull it off. So how often would you say you're using the defensive ability of the Ram Rider? Like, is it just when you're in a jam like you would a Battle Ram?
Sometimes, but also sometimes it's better than any other defensive card you have in a hand.
Yeah.
Also, you almost want to always play it in defense when you have the opportunity because it's very good at going for the counter push. So, for example, if there's a mega minion going towards your tower at full health, it will get 2 swings, but you can use the Ram Rider to force it to get no swings while the Ram Rider takes no damage, and you get the counter push. So that would be like the example of an ideal time to use it.
Really smart for sure. Let's watch the one against Dykebits here. He's a great player.
Perfect.
And this time you're on the top. We'll press play in 3, 2, 1, go. And this is like a faster cycle deck that you're facing here. So we talked a lot about the Ram Rider. Why don't you talk a little bit about the cadence and the pacing with this deck? Is it, how are you playing it just like you would a normal bridge spam deck for the most part? Like more defensive oriented until you know what they have and then pick and choose your spots?
Yes, because Ram Rider doesn't die instantly to cannon, and cannon's a really good defense against Battle Ram. Ram Rider is really good at being able to lock onto the cannon, kill it, then go to the Princess Tower and get a charge on that.
Yeah,
and that's what you're going to be wanting for this game. As you also showed in a Twitter clip ages ago, Ram Rider can completely counter Hog Rider, which is super convenient. So I'll be pulling that one out a few times this game. Also, I played a Snowball there because I don't want the Hog getting any hits. Like, once 2.6 gets your tower to like 1.6k, they can just fireball cycle, and I don't want that.
Why are you putting so much pressure here? That was a good tip, by the way, about was it because taking advantage of the Lumberjack's rage right there?
Yeah. That's why I did it on the left tower instead of the right tower, even though the right tower had less HP at the time.
Dude,
I got lucky.
Look at that Ram Rider.
I know. It's crazy.
That seems wrong right there. That just seems wrong that you can do that. That was like amazing. All right, so anytime you use this Hog, you're basically going to either have your Ram Rider or your Lumberjack ready, it sounds like.
Yep, because his deck cycles so fast, what he's going to be wanting to do is out-cycle my Van Rider, because my Van Rider will be my main counter for his Hog. But then I have my secondary defenses like Lumberjack that does also an excellent job.
It seems like this deck, you know, at the risk of disagreeing with you in terms of its strength, it doesn't seem like there's any super difficult matchup, because even like Graveyard, you have Poison and Barbarrel and Snowball. You know, what do you find you struggle with against this deck? Like P.E.K.K.A.?
P.E.K.K.A. is one of the harder matchups, but it's definitely winnable, at least tieable. You have the Inferno Dragon. There's a lot of P.E.K.K.A. decks at the moment that have moved on from using Electro Wizard because Musketeer buff, and also we're seeing Flying Machine P.E.K.K.A. decks getting popular also. So P.E.K.K.A. is definitely a tough matchup, but very winnable.
Yeah, because you do have, like you said, you do have plenty of, you know, plenty of defensive. This deck is so robust defensively too that even if they have the P.E.K.K.A., you have a lot of answers to what they have. So going back into this match here, we're in Double Elixir. Do you get more aggressive with your spam in Double Elixir normally? I mean, is it just the same as Single Elixir, only double the speed, or how do you change your gameplay?
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Because now in Double Elixir, 2.6 is harder to break through, what I'm going to be really wanting to do is mostly Poison Cycle.
Wow.
Here, I get a good connection with the tower, and I think I take it. Yep, under the Rage, it's so strong.
Dude, okay, so a general rule of thumb. Single Elixir, your Lumberjack dies. Are you sending in either a Bandit or a Ram Rider?
If I know what counters he has in hand, probably, because you really want to be getting value out of that Rage. And Double Elixir, it's a lot easier to get value out of that Rage because you can be constantly cycling and you're not afraid to overcommit, but Single Elixir, it's a bit tougher.
So Single Elixir sounds like maybe if you know exactly what they have in hand, you know you can actually get damage, or if you have an Elixir lead. All right, cool, man. Well, let's wanted to do a live match.
Sure.
Cool.
I'm 6-2 right now in the Grand Challenge because I played a different deck to start it off, but
sure, man.
Now I'll go try hard with this one.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. So is Thunderstruck your main account, or is James your main account? Is it Thunder or?
Thunderstruck is my main account. James is the account I've been practicing on with Grand Challenges and friendly battles. It's been my secret account, but now people have found out. So I've moved on. Or have I? I'm not gonna say.
I was gonna say. So like, what about you? You're coming off this big. Oh, are you in a match right now?
No, not yet. It's just
Let me know when you are. I want to make sure I'm not like glitched on my end. But
sure.
So coming off that huge Redbull M.E.O win, first of all, what was that like there? Were you nervous? Were you confident?
Yeah, it's by far the biggest event I've done, so there was definitely some nerves, but I had more live event experience than nearly everyone besides Sergio Ramos, so I kept on reminding that to myself and forcing myself to become confident.
Absolutely. And what about CRL? Like, do you have any thoughts on that? Any thoughts on, are you contracted? Are you a free agent? Are you interested? Are you not interested? I'm sure you've heard from a few people.
CRL is definitely my end goal. I'd love to play in it, and I'd love to do well in it. I'm in a game right now.
Okay, I got you. That's cool. Would you be willing to move, though, to, like, LA or something?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay,
America
cool.
sounds awesome. I'd love to be part of it.
Have you ever been?
Make sure to hit me up, managers. No, I've been in Europe my whole life. I've never left it.
You're not missing much. All right. So starting out here. Oh, Rascals. What? I mean, Rascals.
Yeah,
I mean, Recruits. What?
Meta.
Yeah.
This should be interesting.
This
I
could
have
be
no
a
idea
bar
what he's
putt
playing.
deck, man. That could be a thorn in your side, right?
Bar putt is quite hard to break through for this deck.
Is.
So that would be a fun challenge.
It's funny because I asked you what the most difficult matchups were, and this deck has really fallen out of the meta, but I guess this would probably be it, right? Recruits and bar putt?
There you go.
Yeah.
He misplayed his bar putt slightly, so I'm going to pressure here.
Okay.
Dun, dun, dun.
And let's see. She can still connect even with all those. And not only does she connect, but she does so much damage.
I know, yeah. He did decent damage in the other lane though, which
Yeah.
is slightly wrong, and he's up in elixir also. Oh
Yeah.
no. I'm gonna take a battle ram hit here, but I'm not too bothered by that. My lumberjack will also be able to kill his barbarians.
Yeah, this is challenging though, especially in double elixir. Like, how are you ever gonna break through this? But we'll see.
Yeah,
in a matchup yeah, go ahead.
I have Snowball and Barbarian Barrow, so I'm going to be wanting to get maximum value on his Swami troops using them.
Okay.
Right now, I suspect he'll play Dark Goblin. There you go.
Nice.
So I'm just going to... I played my Ice Spirit to kill that, and just going to clean it up here. I'm going to have to tank his... Oh, there we go. Okay, that's perfect for me, actually.
Okay. Nice.
Oh no, I pushed it. Damn it.
Oh!
It was like nice and then no. And then...
I know.
Okay, this is fine.
All right. All right.
Gonna have to make a comeback. That's alright.
No
I don't want to
big
lose
deal.
live. I'm gonna have to make a comeback.
Well, this is like this is the worst matchup. I can't believe this.
I know. I didn't think this was a matchup, but I guess it is.
I guess it is. Yeah.
Flying Machine is another deck card that is super hard to answer for this deck because Inferno Dragon's my only counter.
Yeah, for sure. So you finally actually get to his side, but still, it's just like, this is relentless with the flying machines and the spam and the opposite lane pressure. But it's not over yet.
I'm gonna try and make a play here.
Okay. He's being so aggressive that it's almost... If you can wait for him to make like one mistake or misplay.
Yeah, definitely. Only takes one mistake versus Veg Spam to lose a game.
Yeah.
Oh.
Ooh, fireball. That could hurt though.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
Okay.
So he's gonna need 2 more fireballs to finish you off.
Yep.
You're gonna get the raged Ram Rider. He's
And
forced
he has
to
to fireball that
there,
as well.
and then the pressure is on. He has not enough elixir. Ooh, nice
Failed the
try.
prediction.
Yeah.
I have to defend every bit of damage, damn
You
it.
do.
So he's gonna just play his Barbarian Heart now,
Yep.
I suspect. There we go. Even in my lane as well, he's playing so defensive.
Yes. Why, do you think that was a mistake on his part? I probably would have done the same thing. Just
No,
like,
that's well played, I think. Pretty annoying for me.
Yeah, right? It's like you can't use your poison. Oh, man, that's his first fireball. There's your poison.
Yeah.
Now it's kind of do or die here. 4 cards till
Yeah, I
he
need
gets there.
to
And he has recruits.
definitely make a play.
The recruits are going to
Maybe.
be the thorn in your side. Oh, he bar putts.
This is so good. I might be able to.
Fire. All he needs is that fire. He has it in hand. He has it in hand. You got it! Oh,
Nice!
man! Dude, the whole time that match, the entire match, man, I didn't have faith,
I was down
bro.
the whole way.
I didn't have faith in you, bro.
I didn't have faith in me either.
I'm like, well, he's 6-2, so I guess we'll just keep the loss in here. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But man, what a comeback, dude! Congratulations.
Nice, thank you.
Couldn't have asked for a better
With
live
Veg
match.
Spam, you can win at any second. It's brilliant.
Yeah, dude. Well, hey, thanks for doing this, man. I had a pleasure, especially after that live match. Man, we only did one live
Thank
match
you.
this video, but it ended up being a good one.
Yep.
So, any shout-outs or anything like that before we let you go, man?
Oh, sure. Shout out to my Twitter, obviously, at Royale. I'd also like to give a shout out to my analyst for the Redbull event. His name's Tom. He also has a Twitter. Just all my practice partners, Ben, my friends, teammates, coaches, everyone. And yourself, obviously.
Oh, shucks. Thanks, Thunderstruck. I appreciate it, man. But seriously, dude, good job. You really kicked some serious butt over there in Germany. So I think it's
Thanks,
awesome
man.
to see a guy like you who's been around the community for so long, have finally shine in and have your time in the sun. So congrats, and we'll be keeping an eye out for you in CRL 2019.
Thank you. I hope
problem.
to see that.
Yeah, me too. Guys, that is going to do it for the video. I hope you enjoyed this video. This is one of the first ones that we've done in a while on just like an exclusive focus on the Ram Rider, which I think Thunderstruck has proven is definitely a really strong and viable card and a little bit different, which is all good things. So guys, thank you for watching all the way till the end. Check out Thunderstruck's player stats and information. Thanks to statsroyale.com in the show notes below. Another huge shout out to my YouTube partner, Bren Chong. Check out his information as well. Thank you, and as always, take care, guys.